Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between green hills, there lived a wise and humble father with 3 sons. The father was well respected by the villagers for his wisdom, kindness, and deep understanding of life. As his sons grew older, he knew that the time would come when he would need to share his life lessons with them, helping them navigate the challenges ahead. One evening, after the day's work was done, the father called his 3 sons to the family home. The sun had just begun to set, and the air was cool with a gentle breeze. The father sat them down around the dinner table, looking at each of them with affection, knowing that this moment was crucial. "My sons," he began, his voice calm and steady, "you are all growing into fine young men. Each of you has your own strengths and talents, but there is much more to life than what you see in front of you. There are lessons that will guide you through challenges and ensure your success in this world. Today, I want to speak with you about the most important lessons I have learned in my life, lessons that I hope you carry with you wherever you go." The 3 sons listened intently, eager to hear what their father had to say. The eldest son, a strong and ambitious young man, was always quick to act. The second son, thoughtful and introspective, often pondered before making decisions. The youngest son, full of curiosity and wonder, always sought adventure and excitement. The father turned to his eldest son first. "My son," he said, "you are strong, and you have the drive to accomplish many things. But remember, strength alone is not enough. You must learn the value of patience. There are times in life when rushing forward will only lead to mistakes. When you are faced with a challenge, take a moment to reflect, breathe, and think about your next steps." The eldest son nodded, but looked somewhat skeptical. He had always believed that action and determination were the keys to success. The father smiled gently and continued, "Let me tell you a story. A farmer once planted seeds in his field. Every day he would check the crops, hoping to see them grow faster. But in his impatience, he would pull up the plants, thinking they had not grown enough. What do you think happened, my son?" The eldest son thought for a moment and replied, "The crops would not have grown well." "Exactly," the father said. "Patience is needed for growth. Just as the plants need time to grow, so do your endeavors. Sometimes the best action you can take is to wait and trust the process." The father then turned to his second son, who was always deep in thought and often quiet in his ways. "You, my son, have a keen mind and a thoughtful heart. You seek wisdom in every situation. But remember, wisdom without action is like a lantern without a flame. It can show you the path, but cannot light the way." The second son listened carefully, his brow furrowed in thought. The father continued, "Let me tell you a story about a man who sought the answers to life's greatest questions. He traveled far and wide, consulting the wisest scholars and reading countless books. But despite all his knowledge, he never acted on what he learned. When his time came, he had nothing to show for it but empty words. Wisdom must be put into action, my son, for it is not enough to know what is right. You must do what is right." The second son, understanding his father's words, nodded. He realized that he had often hesitated, unsure of when to act, fearing that he might make a mistake. But now, he understood that wisdom was not just about knowing, it was about doing. Finally, the father turned to his youngest son, the one who was always eager to explore and chase after new adventures. "My youngest son, you are filled with energy and curiosity. You have the heart of a lion and the spirit of an explorer. But remember, courage without purpose is like a ship sailing without a destination. It will wander aimlessly, never reaching its true potential." The youngest son, always ready for an adventure, felt a pang of concern. "But father," he said, "shouldn't I always follow my heart and take risks?" The father smiled warmly. "Taking risks is important, but so is knowing where to go. Let me tell you a story about a great explorer who sailed across the seas, facing storms and dangers. He was brave and determined, but he had no map to guide him. One day, he found himself lost in the vast ocean, unable to find his way home. Courage alone was not enough. He needed a sense of direction, a purpose to guide him. The youngest son looked thoughtful. "So courage without direction is not enough?" "Correct," the father said. "Courage must be guided by wisdom and patience. It is not enough to act boldly. You must know why you are acting and where you are going. The father looked at each of his sons in turn, his eyes filled with love and wisdom. "Remember these lessons, my sons," he said. "Patience, wisdom, and courage. These are the pillars that will support you throughout your life. Patience to wait for the right moment, wisdom to know what is right, and courage to take the necessary steps even when the path is uncertain." He paused for a moment, allowing his words to settle in. There will be times in your lives when you will face great challenges. You will have to make difficult decisions. But if you carry these lessons with you, you will navigate those challenges with grace and wisdom. And always remember, no matter where life takes you, I will be here, watching over you, proud of the men you have become. The three sons, deeply moved by their father's words, embraced him. They understood now that their father's wisdom was not just about teaching them the ways of the world, but also about guiding them to become better men, capable of leading lives of meaning and purpose. As the night grew darker and the stars began to twinkle above, the family sat together in silence, knowing that the lessons they had learned would stay with them for the rest of their lives.